NCE Exam Prep. Just wanted to give you a little glimpse at what our group tutoring is like. Every Tuesday night that we do our group tutoring sessions at 7 o'clock p.m. Central Time. When you sign up to participate each week, I ask a question during the sign up about what you're feeling stuck on. And last night when we were doing this group tutoring, somebody was feeling particularly stuck on statistics questions, and she asked a question about standard deviation. And so this is a short video of me walking through how to answer a question that you might encounter related to standard deviation. So I hope this is a helpful glimpse at not only what group tutoring is like, but maybe if you're feeling stuck on standard deviation as well, this will help you to understand it just a little bit better. So here's a question. A fourth grader's completed achievement test. His score in a math portion was 2 standard deviations above the mean. Okay. David's score was higher than blank percentage of others taking the same test. Okay, so how are we going to solve this? What do we need to look at? We've got all the information we need right here in the question. So what's the first bit of information that we have? His score on the math portion was 2 standard deviations above the mean. When you're encountering a question like this, what I want for you to be able to do is use that whiteboard that they've given you, or if they've given you paper and pencil, and just draw out this, draw a quick bell curve. I really want you to try to memorize the lines and the percentages and the numbers on this if possible. But let's plot what we know, okay? So a score on the math portion was 2 standard deviations above the mean. Oops, I went too far. Okay, so right here, we would draw a line that indicates 2 standard deviations. This is right where David's score was. Does that make sense? Tell me if I'm going too fast. Like, interrupt me, ask questions. That's perfectly okay, okay? So if it was 2 standard deviations above the mean, it's asking David's score was higher than blank of the others taking the test. Okay, and then we've got these percentages: 64%, 97%, 95%, 68%. So how are we going to figure out what percentage was lower than David's score? Well, we've got to look at all of these percentages that fell below 2 standard deviations above. Okay. And so if we add those together, we'd see we've got 2.14. We could add all these, or we could just add these ones. 2.14 plus 0.13. We're going for approximations here. And so this would be how we find that answer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I do have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, so the standard deviation is, okay, let's kind of start over a little bit. The standard, where's actually the standard deviation at? Because it says that David's score was higher than, okay, David, we're looking for David's score was higher on the others taking the same test. So
Right.
his score, I'm sorry, his score on the math portion was 2 standard deviation above the mean.
Right.
So again, where's the standard deviation at again?
Okay, so we have to know 2 things with this sentence. One is that his score is 2 standard deviations above the mean. So we have to know where the mean is. On a standard bell curve, the mean is always in the middle.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
The mean is always in the middle, and it's represented by this spot because that's the average of all of the test takers. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's right there in the middle. His score was 2 standard deviations. On a bell curve, we've got the standard deviations. Can y'all see my mouse moving around? Okay.
Yes.
These are the standard deviations: 1 standard deviation, 2 standard deviations, 3, 4. It's above the mean. Here's the standard deviations below the mean. And so you can see that right here on this row. We've got -4, -3, -2, -1. So these are below the mean, and these are above the mean.
Oh, okay.
And so if the question says that David's score was 2 standard deviations above, then we can draw a line right here at 2 standard deviations above the mean. That's where this mark indicates.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so
Yeah.
basically you have to learn how to read the bell-shaped curve.
Yes.
Oh, done. Okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Good. And so when we know that it was 2 standard deviations above the mean, we can look at what percentage David's score was higher than. It was higher than, and we could add all these up, or we could just add the smaller section and then subtract that from 100. Okay. Does that make sense, Sonny?
Yes.